I have two challenges for you. The first is you need to hire 10 people in the next 10 days. And then the second challenge is you got to do that every quarter for the next 4 quarters because we're growing. The question is, how do you actually do that? How do you rationalize the process? How do you project your company to all of these different candidates? If you're hiring 10 people, you might get 1,000 resumes. How do you possibly deal with that kind of information? And how do you not exhaust your current staff? So we have a couple of different product spotlights here over the course of today. This is our third and final one. Again, we're trying to help you find solutions to manage your business. So I want to introduce you to a company called Mainz. There's a very high-tech solution that CEO Michael Bekiarian is going to explain to us. Michael, come on out here. This is pretty amazing stuff. We've just outlined 2 scenarios. You got to hire 10 people in 10 days, number one, and then number 2, you got to repeat that process over the next several quarters. How would you do that?
Exhausting, is it not? Right?
Exhausting.
Yeah, talent acquisition these days, very difficult. Talent's very thin in the marketplace. A lot of folks out there. You tell a team of folks are about to hire. Half the company goes, yay, resources. The other half goes, oh, I got to hire people. It's a difficult challenge. It is. So Mainz, if I can take a moment just to kind of point out here, now it's not chicken and lingerie, just so you know. It's a tough act to follow. But we've got 4 specific pillars that we have in our organization. Talent acquisition is the start. We have a training development arm, measurement technology, and a reward and recognition. And we look at all 4 as being critical in order to deliver an outstanding customer experience and ultimately driving net loyalists to your organization and your customer base. But today we'd like to talk about just about the talent acquisition, as we talked about the big cup to fill. And today we're actually launching, November 1st we launched our recruitment as a service product line. So for the past almost 3 years we've been filling the role as a traditional recruiter, and we looked at organizations and we decided and worked with them to say, how can we do this better? How can we do it faster? How can we do it more economically?
Right.
And we developed a product line where we go into organizations, and you've heard of software as a service.
Sure.
You heard of marketing as a service. Well, we are now recruitment as a service. And you hire us in to actually recruit your talent, and we marry them up, we match them with both a skill set as well as an emotional and cultural connection to your organization.
And what distinguishes your business, if I understand it correctly, and I would like you to explain it to our group here today, you're using technology to do this. So it's a rational process. It's not a bunch of people collating resumes. It's machines doing that for you.
Yeah, it's amazing. The technology out there today. Our process begins with a data search of almost 30 million applicants per month. We look at your requisition, wherever it is. We match it up with an organizational psychologist. We look at the unique attributes of that position within that job family. And then we take it back and we send it out to all of the major job boards as well as some niche job boards and some job boards that no one may not be aware of.
All right, let's say you get 1,000 resumes for one position. What do you do now?
Great example. We filled a position with 1,000 resumes. We were able to parse them and sort them down to about 267.
And how'd you do that? How'd you go from 1,000 to 267?
Well, we utilize a very sophisticated applicant tracking system, which allows us to do keyword searches that are specific to not only the culture of the organization, but also to the attributes of the position that we're looking to hire for.
In other words, you got all these different resumes, and you fed them into your computer, and now you have algorithms that search for words on these resumes. Is that what you're talking about?
That is correct. Now, we look for not only attributes of the job, but attributes of the person. Things like if they work for the word luxury, and they put that in their resume. Or areas where we're looking to sort for a person that's more of a cultural fit. So once we find those, we drill them down, we then get them to a point where we have a manageable population. That population then receives an assessment.
Is 267 manageable?
It is for us. Our technology and our recruiter teams are able to work with them. Each recruiter handles about 3 customers, 3 clients.
All right, so you started with 1,000, you're now at it to 267 by keyword search on a piece of paper that is obviously electronically conveyed. How do you get it from 267 down to something that's even more manageable?
Yeah, so that's our goal, is to really provide manageable populations for the recruiters of our customers to actually be able to see. So once we run an assessment, we measure for 3 things. We measure for motivation, personality, and a cognitive ability test. That gets us down to about another...
From a piece of paper?
Actually, it's delivered electronically to the candidate. It's all done through our applicant tracking system. So it's all automated, very rapid delivery times for the folks who are going through our process.
So each of those 267 people is asked to do what?
They'll take an assessment, and the assessment covers those 3 areas we talked about. So once we sort through those and they have an acceptable score, we then take them from there and we push them through into our video interviewing process. This is where it gets really cool. So we do canned interviews. We can either have a person conducting the interview themselves, or we can put words up on a screen. And interesting about this is 70% of the people taking these interviews actually occur after business hours. So we're able to get to populations of employees who are too busy working to find their next exciting job.
Okay, so this is this is like science fiction, like coming to life. So someone gives a video interview, and then is there facial recognition?
There is.
Shifty eyes, not a good thing. I mean, is that how it works?
So once we get these videos, we run a predictive analytics model, and we measure them for multiple dependencies within that video. We look at things like the level of engagement, the level of distress. They look a little distressed while they're taking the video. Look at their motivation, their personality. And we're able to map that from a predictive model and take a look at that data and marry it against the job family to say that this person historically, within our database of about 5 million folks who have gone through this video interviewing process, historically, if that person matches to the job family that we're looking to hire for. And the cool thing, this is really, really cool, where as you get more experience with us, we're able to benchmark all of your most successful employees and then ultimately come back and say, hey, that Bob in accounting, I wish I had 10 of him. And through our predictive model, we can actually go out and find 10 more Bobs.
You can code for Bob.
We could.
You can code keywords, experience, eye movements. You can build a whole digital Bob.
A digital library of Bobs. Yes, we can clone Bob within the organization.
How long does this take?
Well, the interesting thing, under a normal scenario between our technology and our recruiting teams, we can go from 0 to referral of first candidate within 10 days, and that's a branded experience. So
you could actually do my 10 people in 10 days challenge?
Well, we can actually get to presenting resumes to you. I shouldn't say resumes, actually dossier to you, which includes their resume, their assessment, their video interview, and then if you like what you see, you can do an interview in person, or utilize our technology, the portal, to go in and do an online video live. That gets recorded,
right? And
the whole thing goes through. We do a background check of them. It's packaged up, and you can then send that off to whomever in your organization you wish to see it.
1,000 people, you narrow it down to 267 based upon keyword search, fine. Then you do the cognitive thing. That narrows it down to how many?
Ultimately, at the end of the day, from 267, we're down to about 40. The 40 get an assessment.
And the 40 then submit videos.
They'll come down to about 20 to 25 who actually get videos.
And then you analyze the videos and you narrow it down to?
Somewhere between 4 to 8.
And so ultimately, the company says, here are 4 to 8 dossiers.
That we believe are perfect fits, not only cultural matches for your organization and job skill matches to your organization, but they also have that physicality, that presence.
I like the sound of this, but my concern is cost.
Yeah.
How expensive is this?
It's actually a lot less expensive than a recruiter process. We came from the world of recruiting, and we felt that we wanted to try to find a way to do it faster, cheaper, and better. We find that if you are working with a recruiter, we stop at the C-suite. So we do entry level to the C-suite. Another unique aspect of us, we're about 50% and above cheaper.
50-50 half?
Yes, 5.
Can you show me the numbers?
I can.
You got my attention. If you can save me money and get the people that I want, I'm interested. Was it the next one?
So, yeah,
okay, there we go.
So this was a very quick, this is for about $2 million of salary across all different levels in your organization. And traditional recruiting is about 20% of 20 to 30%. That would run about $400,000 in fees. You're basically leasing our technology stack, and you're leasing our recruiter teams. And runs about $84,000 for that, and a success fee. Only when we're actually the hire, about $115,000. So you're looking at $199,000 for the same $2 million of salaries. And you're getting a very deep level of understanding of your applicants and your candidates coming through your pool. And the other thing which I'd like to point out is these folks are getting at the level of, we work with a lot of hospitality, retail, franchise, farmers. In fact, we launched officially here on the conference on November 1st.
Right.
We had our first customer sign up for recruitment as a service, since it's a new product offering. And it's a pharma company, and we're hiring 100 national sales reps for them.
Really?
They looked at this model, they said, it's a no-brainer for us.
Congratulations. And by the way, for those 100 positions, how many people at your company will be required?
We have 2 full-time recruiters that will actually be working on this contract as well as another. So we can handle, with each recruiter can handle about 3 customers. Because there's 100 and they want to ramp up pretty quickly, we've made a commitment to put 2 people on very fast.
And
the first
so
quarter.
if there are 100 people and you had said 4 to 8 candidates per position, you're effectively going through however many thousands, and you're narrowing it down to 400 to 800 people. How long is that whole process going to take you?
We are looking to staff all 100 in between 4 and 6 months.
Impressive.
It's a great product.
You are going to have more to talk about in one of the breakout sessions tomorrow morning, correct?
Yes, we are.
And will you take some Q&A so that if anyone out here actually wants to inquire, how do I put this thing into practice for my business, you'll do that?
Oh, absolutely. We're actually going to do a full ROI discovery. So you can put your own numbers up against our numbers. We're going to talk a lot deeper about talent acquisition and the role it plays within the organization and building net loyalists within your company. And we're going to do, you'll leave there on a piece of paper exactly the savings, and not only savings, but the opportunity cost that you're maybe leaving behind within the end of the workshop.
Michael Bekiarian of Mainz, one of our product spotlights. I'm glad we had you come up today.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Congratulations on the new sale.
Thank you.